Welcome back to the Daily Taoist with Will S. Today I'm going to be talking about verse 15 of the Tao Te Ching. The Tao Te Ching was written around 2,500 years ago by a man named Lao-Tzu. It is one of the oldest texts in existence and certainly one of the wisest. Its wisdom is timeless, and its message is as relevant and important now as it was back then, if not more so. It is vital that we learn to come back into balance with the natural world, to live in a more harmonious and selfless way, and the Tao Te Ching beautifully instructs us in bringing ourselves and our lives into alignment with the Tao. Verse 15. The ancient masters were profound and subtle. Their wisdom was unfathomable. There was no way to describe it. One can only describe them vaguely by their appearance. They were careful as someone crossing a frozen stream in winter, alert as a warrior in enemy territory, courteous as a guest, yielding as melting ice, shapeable as a block of uncarved wood, receptive as a valley, amorphous as muddled water. But the muddiest water clears as all is stilled, and out of that stillness life arises. Do you have the patience to wait until your mud settles and the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving till the right action arises by itself? The master does not seek fulfillment, not seeking, not expecting. She is present and can welcome all things. Lao-Tzu here describes the masters of old that lived their lives in constant alignment with the Tao. He poetically depicts them as being like elements of nature, and this is a central theme of the Tao Te Ching. That by observing and aligning with nature and the natural rhythms and flow, we reconnect with our deepest essence, that which might be described as the Tao. The master is awake, alert, kind, malleable, and receptive. There is no element of self-seeking, and precisely because of this, the master has an openness and can, as other translations of this verse states, remain like a hidden sprout that does not rush to early ripening. Take some time to reflect on the characteristics written by Lao-Tzu you are already possess and which you can develop, cultivate, or strengthen. Contrary to popular assumption, our personality is not rigidly set in stone. In fact, it changes all the time, and with a little conscious effort can easily be molded and developed. Lao-Tzu makes reference to muddy water, which could still represent our unconscious neuroses, fears, aversions, attachments, and the assorted mind stuff that continually churns around our head. How do we clear this muddy water? How do we get agitated? Do we get agitated and try to stir it up, or boil away the mud? Such auctions only serve to worsen it. Instead, Lao-Tzu suggests retreating to that place within, in which we are in constant connection with the Tao. He urges us to be rooted there, to wait patiently, allowing the mud to settle and allowing the right action to spontaneously arise. By letting go of our constant grasping and carving and our never-ending quest for happiness and fulfillment, we can reach a place of peace in which we are more in tune with life in the present moment, in which all things begin to shine. Yeah, I really like that. There's really no point in getting. I think, in essence, this is talking about don't get upset over the little stuff. Don't sweat the small stuff. If you're, constantly upset by tiny irritations, what is going to happen when the big stuff happens? Are you going to be ready for it? Because big stuff is gonna happen, and the master is awake, alert, kind, malleable, and receptive. I like that. Being malleable and receptive just is another version of being open-minded. To kind of roll with the punches and not be so rigid, and be a little more flexible with your time, your energy, your money. I find we get put into these, I call it, well, they're mental constructs, right? We get put into these thought loops that aren't productive. They're not useful to you. And, if you're, like he says here in the essay, letting go of our constant grasping and craving and never-ending quest for happiness and fulfillment. Happiness is not something that you can find. It's something that you bring to whatever you're doing. You have to reach a place of striving to arriving, in which we are more in tune with life in the present moment, in which all things begin to shine. So all time is now. There is conceptually no such thing as the past or the present. It's a human perception that gives the past meaning or the future meaning. And projecting too far into the future can cause a lot of worry, and projecting too far into the past can cause a lot of rumination and lead to depression, like regret and things I should have done, and outcomes that didn't go the way that they should have, things like that. Have yourself a great and prosperous Tuesday, wherever you are in the world. This has been Will here at The Daily Taoist. You can check us out at thedailytaoist.com. We also have a Twitter at The Daily Taoist and Instagram. And namaste.